Hey guys, welcome to Lenin 8. In this video, we are going to discuss about a Java program to print frequency of each character of string. For example, if the input is BCAABAC, so in this given input string, how many times B is occurring? So 2 times, that's why the digit how many times and the corresponding character B. And C is occurring how many times? 2 times, that's why 2, then followed by the character C. Then A is occurring 3 times, that's why 3A. One more important point to notice, it is not the alphabetical order that we are printing the output. So it is first which character is occurring? B. Therefore, about count of B first. Then second character is C, therefore count of C. Then the next character is A, that's why count of A. Because there can be multiple ways of asking a question. So we are going to discuss the one of that. Then two more other ways of getting the output also we'll discuss in the coming videos. Now let us understand how to do this one. Yeah. So for this I have taken the input, so which is BCAABAC. Let us analyze this, how to do this. BCAABAC is the input. To get the expected output, so first thing what we have to do, can we consider each and every character of this given string? Yes, it is possible. With the help of the for loop, we can start from first character and we can run till last character. That's the first point. Second, once we consider the first character, and by default, what's the count? For example, if there are no other b's present in the string, then for this first b, the count has to be 1. Correct or not? So for b, first time, the count has to be 1. Then once we consider this b, we have to check the remaining part of the string. Remaining part of the string, is b is present at any other position or not? Yes, it is present at one more time. Once it is present, then we have to increment the count by 1. Then the count will become 2. Then after this, any other b is present? No. So therefore, once b checking of this b is done, then we have to print the count and also the corresponding character. Next, we have to start counting from the next letter or next character. For example, if it is C, for the first time, the C count has to be 1. Or should we consider the previous count? No, we have to start every time as a count 1 only, not the previous count of. That's why 1. Then followed by, in this process of checking from the remaining string. Then how many times C is occurring? One more time it is there. Therefore, count will become +1. And finally, we get the count of characters to C as 2 times. Then we have to print the character C. Next, we have to consider the next character A. And once it is A, again the count has to start from 1. And depends on the number of times the count has to be incremented. So A is occurred one more time. Then the count will become 2. And after that, A is there one more time. Then the count will become 3. And the corresponding character A. So this is what we have to print. Then what if the still process will continue? If we get one more A, then for this also we have to count and print 2 times of A? No, we should not do it. That means once any character is considered already, and for those to not to repeat the same count of character once again, we are going to replace them. So we are going to replace them with a special character. Say for example, @ is one of the special characters. So we can use that. Any character which is not present in the input, we can use. Yeah. So this is the concept basically which is involved in this. And two more things. For checking this each and every character, we need one loop, correct? And then followed by, once we consider first character or one character, then to check from the remaining part of the string, do we need one more loop? Yes, we need one more loop. Yeah. So based on this understanding, now let us write the code for this. So first thing, I am taking a string s equals to Let us go for the same input, BCAABAC. To count, we need one integer kind of variable. Let us name this as count. Excuse. Then here I am not initializing. This is called as only declaration. I am not writing anything equal to 1 or equal to 0. If you don't write like that, this is only declaration. Then followed by, we need a for loop. So for int I equals to, we have to start from first character of the string, that is 0. Then I should be less than or equals to, existing object variable is s, which is a string type. Therefore s dot length property or length method, then -1 to get the last index. Then we have to consider each and every character, therefore I plus plus. So it means once we consider a character, then what we supposed to do? We have to make that count as 1 every time. Correct or not? That's the reason this is not the right place to initialize. So inside this for loop, I am initializing this count equals to 1. The next step, one more for loop I am taking, but by leaving some space, I'll explain you why. One more for loop, for int j is the next variable, because we are inside the outer for loop, so we can't use once again I. Then j has to start from where? Once if we consider b, then the remaining part of the string has to be checked. Correct? Or from the starting again, from remaining, because we already made the count as 1. That's why j should be always I plus 1. I hope this is clear. Then what we should check? J also run till the last of the string, that is s dot length method -1. Then j also should be incremented, so j plus plus, end of this for loop, then the corresponding body. What is the purpose of this for loop? To increment the count. When we should increment the count? We have to increment the count if the corresponding character present at index position I is also same as the character present at index position j. For example, if this is I, then somewhere in j, if we get the same character as b, then we have to increment the count. Correct? So for the same reason, I am writing one condition. If s dot char at is the method, and if the character at I is same as, that is double equals operator, s dot char at j, then what we supposed to do? We have to increment the count. That's why simply one line of code called count plus plus. So this is the purpose of the for loop. And once this is done, then what we supposed to do here? We have to print that digit and then followed by the character as well. So for the same output, system.out.print, because we want the output in the same line, that is 2b, 2c and 3a. That's why print. If you want to print in new line, we can also go for println as well. So print what? We have to print the corresponding count. So that's why count here, then plus, internally it will not work as a digit and character together when we add it. That's why I'm taking one empty string, then plus the corresponding character. This b is present in variable I or in variable j. One more thing is, we are outside the inner for loop, so it is not possible to access j. So here s dot char at I, important point to remember. So this is the print statement. So it's not println, so we get 2b, 2c, 3a. And one more thing, once if we consider the count of the first character b, and to not to repeat same as b once again, what we supposed to do? We have to replace. Correct? I hope you remember. Then the same thing I am going to replace here. So by using a method called as replace, on s string object, we can implement a method called replace. Replace what? The current character, that is s dot char at I, comma, Replace with what? Some any common special character. So let me use in single quotes. Some at the rate is a special character which I am choosing for replacing. Then this changes has to be modified back to yes variable. So this everything is inside the outermost for loop. That is the complete code of whatever is our expected output. So that's it. I hope it is clear. We will also cross check by executing. So here in Eclipse, I have taken a class name called character frequency, and inside this main method, let us write the same code that whatever we discussed. First, I am taking a string yes equals to the same input as you can see the question here on top. So which is same as BC BAC. I am taking that as input here. Then followed by what do we need? We need a variable called count, int count, and should we initialize? No, we should not initialize here. Then followed by outer for loop. So for int I equals to 0, then I should be less than or equals to yes dot length length method -1, then I plus plus. Then inside this for loop, what do we need to write? So we have to initialize the count first, count equals to 1, then followed by inner for loop. So while discussing the handwritten code, so here is one more point. When this inner loop has to be executed, if it is not same as at the rate, because we have taken a special character called at the rate. So if the current character is not at the rate, it means it's not occurred before. That's why here I'm adding one condition. So if yes dot char at I is not equals to any special character which you have considered. So in our example, so we have considered at the rate. This is one more important point. So inside this, if we have to check the, we have to take the inner for loop to check the next condition. I hope you're understanding why this line is written. Then one more for loop. So for int j has to start from I plus 1. It's not I. Then j has to run till the end of the string, that is yes dot length -1, the same string. Then j has to be incremented, that's j plus plus. So inside this j loop, what we have to check? We have to check one condition, that is if the character which is presented index position I, if it is same as the character which is present at j, then we have to increment the count, that is count plus plus. Once this is done, so here outside the inner for loop, what we suppose? So after this for loop, inside if condition only, but outside inner for loop. So here first we have to take a print statement. So print, what we have to print? The corresponding count, then followed by directly we can't use the count and also a corresponding character. So I'm taking one empty string there, then append with the current character s dot caret a variable I. So after this, so here is the important point. So it's supposed to be not at the rate. Then what we have to replace the existing character? Once the count is over for a character, we have to replace with special symbol as we have considered here at the rate. Then the same thing has to be replaced with. So s dot replace, and here you can see the first method. The input is character old character comma character new character. So this is the method which I am using to replace the character present at index position I with a character called at the rate in single quotes, since it's a character. Then this changes has to be made because string is immutable, has to be assigned back to same yes variable. So this is our complete code, and let me save this. Already we have the input, and the corresponding output for this is 2a 2b, sorry 2b 2c 3a. If we take print instead of println, let me save and execute. So we got our expected output as 2B, 2C, 3A. And is our logic is generic? Let us cross verify. Especially take the starting positions and also last positions to cross check. I am taking 1A and 1D at starting and at the ending. Save this, execute again. So we got 4 times of A. Now what is starting letter? A. That's why about A we are getting the first part of the output. Then followed by B is the second character, then C, then at last 1D is there. Yeah. So this is the complete generic logic to get the character frequency in the given order of the input string. I hope this is understood. For more videos, please post your questions in the comment section. Thank you and see you in the next video.